those young hell-raising days wasn't no rule we didn't break. Just a couple of rowdy renegades. When we blew it up, tore it down like Jesse James had come back around. Getting caught, getting high, I took your blame and you took mine. Saying, hey bro, I got your back. Dare anybody to go jacking with that? No, hey bro, I know you got mine, yeah. Some things run thicker than a bloodline. Got you covered, my brother, from another mother. Down any back road you might go. Hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh. Hey bro, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh. Gotta say, beats me how we made it through alive, but here we are, living the life. A little bit smarter, but we're slight sometimes. So we go for broke, pay the cost. Always said we were cut out of the same cloth. Some things never change, and here's one more that's still the same. Hey bro, I got your back. Dare anybody to go jacking with that? No, hey bro, I know you got mine, yeah. Some things run thicker than a bloodline. Got you covered, my brother, from another mother. Down any back road you might go. Hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh. Hey bro. Hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh. You call me out, I call you bluff. We flip each other off, rub each other up. But when it all rolls down, down to the bottom line. Way oh, way oh. Hey bro, hey bro, I got your back. Dare anybody to go jacking with that? No, hey bro, I know you got mine, yeah. Some things run thicker than a bloodline. Got you covered, my brother, from another mother. Down any back road you might go. Hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh. Hey bro, hey oh, hey oh. You know I got your back, brother.
Hey guys, today we're going to be talking with Brandon Byrd of Byrd Sports Performance.
What's it feel like when somebody actually makes it? Like they,
Wherever
they go.
It's the best feeling. Like, it's just so hard to get these scholarships or get these awards to get, or you go to pros. It's just, that's the why I do this. I don't really money's good, but I don't really. That feeds me right there. That's it. Just help. That's what it's just seeing the look, their expressions, how good they feel. Like Nick started crying when he had to try out. He was crying, like signed his NFL contract. That's why I do this, man. I had this one girl from Hazleton. She drove like an hour and a half to train with me. She got home at 10 o'clock at night. She never won a district medal, never won a state medal. She won the district of the world. I remember Dad was taking pictures at the end. She won that race, came from behind, jumped in his arms, started crying. Like, that's why I do this, man. Like, for moments like that, like, that's priceless. And she got a state medal. That never would have happened. We never met. She still always be coach to this day. She went to Army Academy. She was at college. They would ask me what to do. You know, that's why I do this. Is to get the emotions to come out. You know, make them, once they achieve their dreams, it's the best feeling in the world. That's the best thing, because you're dealing with people, man. This is like relationships and stuff. Like, I call my difference, it's like a family. You know, like, everybody, I'm close with them. Every time they come in, I hug them. I give them a bro hug. You know, they leave, they go to college, I hug them. I'm almost crying. Like, that's how the girls be crying. They don't want to leave. I want people to come in and they look forward to training in the off season. Everybody looks forward to the season. That's their sport. But I want to look forward to the off season, and that's what happens. They get emotional when they leave.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a different place.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, I've been there.
Yeah, it's competitive, but it's different. It just like you almost have to come and see it sometimes.
Yeah, you definitely should. I've been there. My daughter went there.
Yeah.
She loved it. She had some injuries. I don't know if we talked to her about that, but
yeah.
You have to go to see it and experience it. So.
One parent goes, he said, "I've never seen any place like this ever in the world. Like this is unique and it's competitive. It's the family atmosphere though. That's why I wondered. That's why it's different."
What sports did you play when you were growing up?
I did football and track. That was the main. I wanted to play basketball, but our basketball coach wanted only basketball players. But I love basketball, but at football and track, I did. I'm obsessed with speed, and my brother was a good football player, so I was looked up to him, and he was into fitness and stuff. He was like my motivation to start working out and stuff.
Did you know you were better than everybody else?
No, I was. I tell you, I was a late bloomer, and that's why I had to walk on because the system it's built around early bloomers. If you're a late bloomer, it's tough because these scholarships go fast. So I was like, man, like again, you have potential, but you have to work to get to your potential. And it's the potential doesn't change, but you gotta work. Sometimes you gotta work to get to it. And junior year I had to work. I worked and I finally was coming to my potential. I'd say I wasn't really my best until my college years.
Yeah.
My fastest, strongest, and all that stuff. But
how did you decide just to walk onto the football team, the college football team?
It was just like, my brother had a chance to play Division I at Ohio State, and he never did it. He's a headstrong guy, and he wanted to. He didn't want. There's an itinerary you got to do. You have a strict schedule. He's like, I'm not doing that. So that's my brother. He's headstrong. He wants to do his own thing. So he never did it. My uncle, was a great state champion in Michigan. Most of my family's from. Played Andre Rison. Heard about that name. Mm-hmm. And he went to I think Northwestern or something. Wouldn't start. He quit. So no, my family ever did it. I had great athletes in my family. His sister was pregnant when the state championship in track and field throwing javelin. So it was like my cousin played D1. He's a doctor, Detroit Lions now. And, but I need to do this, man. Like this would be cool. I like it. I think it'd be pretty fun. So I said I had some speed. I worked out. I got fast in here, so I could probably do this. And then I just worked. I walked on, and that was it, man. It was a great experience.
What was that first training camp like?
Hard as hell. I had like I think we had the hardest training camp in the country. We had 3 days. They don't do that. They've outlawed it now. But we had 3 days, man. Well, the first thing we had winter conditioning, and that was like, so you get up at 6 a.m. and you're running for the whole hour, running, doing drills, whatnot, sprints. I threw 6 times the first day.
This is everybody. These are the linebackers.
Everybody. If you're not there at 5:5, he deadlocks the door, chains the door up. You can't get in. I missed one day. I had to repeat.
Oh, jeez.
But I threw up 6 times the first day, and I was like, man, this is crazy. But you had to do that to make the team. And then the first camp, we got 3 days. So we got up at 6:30, and we're there till 10. And we run after that. It was like a lot of people. Some people that disappeared. We're in our dorms, and there's like it's in the woods. It was in Johnstown. There's a movie called The Blair Witch.
Yep.
People would disappear. They put rocks in the little pathways to the woods, like Blair Witch got them. They leave their TV and fan. they leave their scholarships. It was crazy. One of the hardest things I've ever done. We had a JUCO guy, Latif Grimm. He was All-American receiver. He said, man, his first camp, he's like, I didn't sign up for this. They didn't tell me about this. I'm leaving. He's calling his mom every day. Like it tested your manhood, man. It was hard.
No matter how long you've been there, no matter who you were.
Nothing could almost prepare you for that. Because we practiced 3 days and we conditioned every day. Like I never was so sore in my life. I could barely move. It was just I think it was too much. By the time it ended, I mean, you didn't know the days were. It just ran. It was every day. It ran. You didn't know what day it was. It was like for 25 days straight. Wow. And it was like the military, man. And then once it got done, I remember we had to run. We had a scrimmage. We had to run 20 110 sprints after the scrimmage. We got to 10. He's like, Buddy Morris is my man. That's my training. That's why I got into this. Buddy Morris was our trainer. He's like one of the world's best too. He goes, that ain't good enough. We're starting over. We had to do 30. Oh. And then once we got to 20, the crowd started cheering because it was like, how are they running this much after the scrimmage? It was like a show off deal, but it was insane. We had like 20 injuries before the season because it was just too much. We had to they had to just rest, just sit out and rest for the first game. It was hard, man. But now they outlawed it. You can't do that anymore because people are dying and stuff. At different colleges, linemen are killing over. So now they can only practice once a day. Because I wish I grew up now. It's softer now.
What was it like when you got onto the field the first time with
when I got out
very
there,
good college players?
I was like, man. At first, I was like, these guys are freaking big. But I wasn't too overwhelmed. That's why I wanted to do it. When I visited the Pitt, I walked out there and seen the practice. Like, man, these guys aren't really that big up close. And then I could definitely do this, especially the receiver. I was like one of the bigger receivers. So it's like I'm fast as that. I'm the same size. I wasn't too much overwhelmed. Even the linebackers, they weren't. The only people bigger than linemen, but even they're up close. They aren't too big. They're just tall, really, pretty much. The guys are 6'5", 300. But they're not like fat, So I was like, I can definitely. And then even now, my buddies play the NFL. To get up close, those guys aren't that big either. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my guy Craig. They're compact. And most are weights in the lower bodies. You might even know they're in the NFL. They're actually smaller than you think. Just everything, they're real compact. Even Saquon, you get close to him. If he's got some baggy, you don't look at his legs. He's got some jeans on, sweats on. You wouldn't. He's just not. I mean, he's not gonna be like, wow, it's right away. It's an NFL player. So I was like, it just changed my perception. Just getting up close. I was like, I was never overwhelmed.
No.
It was always. I think speed is the thing that overwhelms people, the speed of the game. But like, if you're pretty quick, I ran like a 4.5, 4.4. Most of the guys are slower than me. So that's the hardest thing to get used to. Is just everything's happening so much faster. And the NFL, I mean, we more faster than that. So that's the one thing people to get used to. But like Antonio Bryant, he's my All-American teammate, played in pros 10 years. He played in Florida. Is like this is slower than Florida. They asked him, how do you get used? How are you getting used to the game, the speed of the game? He's like, this is slow to me. That's what he said. And he was right. So it's all about speed. That's the hardest thing to get used to. That's what separates to me the levels: Division 1, 2, and 3.
Speed.
The guys are the same size. There's late bloomers, D2, D3, but the speed, they get D3 guys, they don't have. That's the main. Some guys do, but that's the main differential between the whole thing. The speed.
The guys,
even baseball.
Well, yeah, no, definitely.
Because now they're doing the 60.
Yeah.
You don't run a certain 60, you can't get D1. You can't get D2. So that's like a major part of baseball now. Is the speed of the game, arm speed and running speed. So now, like in my gym, I got the radar gun.
And bat
if I get them bat speed, I'm getting down to I get them to a certain level, they can get a scholarship.
Really?
It's running speed, bat speed, swing speed. That's what they're looking for. Raw ability. I don't think you really have to, just get to. That's easier to get. You go to a certain camp showcase, you swing fast, you throw fast, they'll take you. You don't have to send them. There's no game tape, which I think is crazy. So there's no body of work. You just have a good weekend and you get a scholarship.
Right. Exactly.
You just look good. I got one kid right now. He's probably gonna be D1 now. He never would have been D1, but now he's just improved so much in the wintertime. He's probably D1 now. His bat speed went up 15 miles an hour. His throwing went up like 10 miles an hour, and then his speed went down 5/10. So now he might be D1 now. Like before I got there, I'm like, I don't know. But they improved little by little over time. Like each workout they improved a little bit. Lo and behold, they got it then. I had a football player last spring. Football is the worst word because their high school coach got them. They got a knife to their neck saying you don't work out to school, you ain't playing. Which is sad because the programs are so terrible. You never can. It's not. There's no rhyme or reason to do it.
Right.
You can't improve.
Right.
You really they just bulk the kids up. And what the kids do improve are freaks. That anything they do, they improve. So the kid came to me. He was a 5'1". He got into 4'6". And their scholarships started to come. A scout came to the gym and offered a scholarship to Air Force. I've never seen that before. He measured them and seen them train. He's like, "All right, we're offering you right now."
Awesome.
Which is that's the stuff that people don't see. Like a scout came to my gym from Air Force Academy, offered a scholarship.
And for people who don't know, if you go to your gym, you have all the flags up on the wall.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome. I'm sure for you
to
kind of reflect on.
Because that gives you. So what I thought the girl Lizzie Bauer started at. Cause I just had my flag. Well, how I started with Louis Simmons' gym, Westside Barbell. He had Ohio State flag and Ohio gym flag in his gym. So that's pretty cool. So I might get a Pennsylvania flag and my Pitt flag in my gym. And then I had that, and the one girl goes, "Why don't you have everybody flag?" I go, "That's a good idea." And it'll sign. I'll have their autograph.
Yeah.
So she went to run track. She's one of the best girl athletes I've ever had. I trained her for 6 years, and when I got fired from my old gym because I couldn't do things I wanted to do. She was with me the whole way. I went to Gold's Gym, and I was training her. Her dad, for my daily membership, trained her, and she just stuck me to the tough times. And she had some tough times too. She got hurt in college, and she hit the rock bottom. I brought her back, but she's the one that told me the flag idea. So now everybody comes in there and they sign their flag, and now us for little kids look up to. Like everybody comes in there and goes, "Man, I want to get my flag up there." Like that, I want to sign one of those flags or get one up there. So that's like a motivational type deal, and it's like, and people see it. Like I'm known, like people across the country, they see it. It's like that's Bird's gym.
Do you take the time, like at the end of the night? Everybody's gone. I kind of just look up there and be like,
I do, because like every flag is a story to me. Like I just know their path and the hard work it took to get up there, and I look around like, man. This is amazing. I've had this many flags in here. I've trained this many good people go across the country and play sports. And they have these stories that they've been through. It's just like, it just amazes me. It's just, I think there's like 70 flags in there.
Really, yeah.
It's like the United Nations, man. But it's just like, it's amazing. When the new guy came in from Scranton, he looked around. It was like, he was in awe. I was like, wow, this is amazing. A school teacher came in. He says, "I'm doing this. I'm putting these flags in my classroom
cool.
when the kids go to college."
Yeah.
Like that's how cool it is, I think. And it just makes a gym. One kid from Wilson, he goes, "Man, it just makes your gym. Like everybody knows it's your gym because there's flags up there." So it was a great idea. The best thing I ever did. Benny actually does it. The guy that did the podcast in Georgia, he has it. But it's like his flags are not. I have all 2x5, so it's more visible.
Yeah.
So I must be running out. I must be running out of room soon. I think number 5 or more, I might run out. I might just start just putting once I graduate, I might just pull some down, But it makes a gym. The little kids are like, "Man, I want to get up there one day."
You said we don't have to mention the other gym's name, but you left that gym, or you were asked to leave the other gym.
Yeah,
that had to be the best thing.
What happened was it was the best thing that happened. But like when I first started the other gym, I won't mention names, but it was like a cool thing. Like he helped me out, because the guy never really worked out, and what he did is he went to California and studied a trainer, but he never actually worked out at a gym. So I kind of he's like. He never actually used weights. This guy used Mark Marinovich. You watched, there's a 30 for 30 on it called the Marinovich Project. Well, this guy Marinovich is a famous trainer, and he trained BJ Penn and Troy Polamalu. He was like the first strength coach, but he like studied all the pro teams. He said the people who were the strongest never weren't the best athletes, which is partially true, and. So he made his own machines that were not weights. They were like isokinetics called, from like Russia. So the guy took those machines, and it was like unique. No one had them in the United States, but him and him. That was it. So I said, "Do weights do work?" I know because I trained Buddy Morris and Louis Simmons. Those guys were the geniuses. So I kind of added that. We integrated that, and I kind of dumbed those programs down for these kids. But I've started advancing more. Man, he just couldn't understand the techniques and methods. And I was basically doing my thing. And then they got jealous, I think, because he's like, man, he just can't understand. He wants to do his own thing. He's they put me out. So, but it was good though, because it just was holding me back.
Yeah.
From growing and perfecting my craft. And one day I was reading books. He goes, "What are you reading for? You don't need to get any better. We're good. The pros were good enough." I said, "Man, the pros need to be better, because if you make the athletes better, more people will come." That's my philosophy. He's like, "We don't need that. We need regular marketing." I'm like, "No, we need to have better. We need these kids to do a little better." And we were getting good results, but yeah, I said, I'm always like, in my mind, I'm not insecure, but I'm like thinking there's always got to be a better way. There's always got to be. I can do better. So I'm always trying to, like Buddy Moore. Actually, I went to visit Buddy and Louis Simmons. They said, you gotta read books, and I was embarrassed. I didn't really know. I knew what to do. I didn't know why I did it. And they said, you gotta read these books, man. You gotta read more books. And I was embarrassed. That the virus started me. So after that was about 5-6 years ago. I had a good program, but once I started actually reading and understanding, I reverse engineering it. Then I really started doing some things.
How soon did you start your own thing after you?
That was crazy. It was like 3-4 months. I couldn't believe I got it that fast. They couldn't believe it either. It was just lucky. I had one of my kids was a realtor. My mom's a realtor, and the guy, her friend he was a steel worker actually, but he owned a gym on the side. And he wanted to do another gym with another trainer, but he wanted the other trainer to own it. He actually owned the gym the first time. So he said, I got a spot you can open up, and I want you to train my son. You can start a gym out here, blah, 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 out in Northfield. And that's how it happened. It was, I can get you cheap rent. The rent was like $600. So I got lucky there. It was like 2,000 square feet. And so I can't pass this up. But I was like I was actually working on my other buddy's gym. I was in Gold Gym at first. Lindsay was paying me and for his daughter to train her daughter, because she was in a state championship run for track. So I had her, and then I took him over to my buddy's gym. I love him to this day. Dave Barth, Explosive Mechanics. I mean, Dave Barth at what's it called? The gym is called, it's in Allentown. Goodness gracious, what's his gym called? Oh, it'll come to me. But anyway, Dave Barth. But he let me work at his gym. I said, I need some place to train. Open up, man. And it was the best thing ever, because he has me and him, no Louis Simmons. That's like he had some of the same equipment I use, and he loved it because he does bodybuilding and powerlifting, and he's seen some athletes in there. He's like, man, it's just causing a scene. Like, I've never seen people stop my gym. Like my athletes were stopping this because they were jumping like on crazy boxes, and he's like, man, at the end he's like, you want to stay here? Like, I've never seen my gym like react like this. I said I signed the lease, but I can't. I love working with him, man. And then that was it. It took 3 months. I saved up my money. Actually, I saved up money making T-shirts. I sold the T-shirts from the whole gym. Like the whole owner gave me full ownership of selling T-shirts. So I saved like $2,000, $2,500 selling T-shirts. Got a little loan. Dad pitched in a little bit, $2,000, and then that's how I got it. I got going. At 3 months, it was amazing. But it was small. I was pretty much empty in there. Yeah. I just pieced things together. It's crazy. I get something new like usually every 3 months. I just save up though. I live really thrifty. I live for these kids. I want them to have the best gym and the best training possible. So I live very frugal, and I call it their gym, because the money they give me, I just put back into it. Mm-hmm. Because I want them to have the best environment, the best gym, the best equipment ever in the whole East Coast. So that's their gym. So all my money goes right back into it, and it's been that way. I just eat and sleep and pay rent and live modest. That's it. I don't go out. I don't drink. None of that stuff. It just goes back in the gym, and it's just evolved. Like every time I get a new piece of equipment, my program evolves. Last week I got a new med ball. It's a $5 met ball though. But what it does, it tells you how fast you throw it and how far you throw it. So like, cause I want everybody to compete at everything. They want to see numbers. And the one kid, the NFL guy goes, I wish I knew how far I was throwing this thing. And I said, that'd be cool. I like the research. Like, now I got the med ball.
That's cool.
It's a lot of money, but like, there's things like that no one else has.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's no one. I've never seen one in Pennsylvania, for sure. So like, that's gonna add to the program. But I had to keep records, so now it's going to make my work a little harder.
How long has it been now?
It's been 2016 July. That's how it's made it about 3 years now.
Awesome.
So it's a blessing, man. I was scared at first. I was working 2 jobs basically doing. I was working just to make sure I wouldn't go out of business. I was working like 80 hours a week to start off. And then once it started, about after a year, I didn't have to do that no more. I could just full time do it.
Yeah,
it was hard to see. After I've been doing it for 12 years before that. And once I left, it's like I just started up. I was like, nobody knew me because I was under their name, and nobody knew who I was. So it was like starting from scratch. Even though I had a couple athletes. What helped me out? I had a couple people that came over, and I had some reputation. But if you're starting from cold, it is even it's damn near impossible. But I had to reprove myself too. So what I did, I reinvented everything. I scrapped my old programs. They still work. I just let me just do research and make some new ones, and they've been fantastic. I keep records. I have gym records. I've beaten all of them except for one, and there's like about 30 records. Because I just started a fresh start, and that's why these people are. That's why Jerry came up to see me because they're seeing these results. We did podcasts on it. Well, I had two kids jump on a 70-inch box. I have 4 now, which is he said he's never seen that before. 4 people in one gym, and then there's a guy that does like Louis Simmons it's called Westside Barbell. There's a documentary called Westside Film, and the director came in. He said, "I've never seen what you've been doing." He said, "You're out of this little place in Orfield, and the athletes you're putting out it's amazing." He said that to me. So like it's getting attention around the whole world. It's cool. I changed. I'm evolving. You got to evolve. If you don't evolve, you don't learn, your athletes will suffer.
The people, the athletes like Antonio Bryant or anybody else who went into the NFL, or even kids in high school who just are above everybody else. What sets them apart?
Whew.
Like you just see.
It's got to be, really it's their inner drive, A lot of people are perfectionists. That's what it takes. Their inner drive, their competitiveness, and their perfectionists. Like Craig, what separates him? I got another kid, Shawn Roth. They're so motivated, and they're perfectionists. They want to work the hardest. They're competitive. That's what I wish I could give it to people. I wish I could take that and give it to people. I got a girl from Wilson. She made herself in the Division I softball player. She is competitive, man. Is Matt Leon. He's on the Angels now. That guy. I get to the gym at I open up at 11. He beat her at 10 o'clock sleeping in his car. And I'm like, damn, how long you been out here, man? But he's that motivated. He's that, and is such a perfectionist and competitive. And he was he worked over 5 hours. I'm like, and this is in college. I said, Matt, you're already a pro. You prepare and you have the mentality of a pro already. I'm thinking you're probably gonna make pros. He made the pros. And he did well too. He did well. He had like a 0 ERA his first 18 games. But the guy was already. I could see it. He was preparing like a pro from his motivation, his perfectionist. Everything was perfect. He just had a regimen that was perfect. And a lot of kids don't get it. That's what it takes. And it's competitive too. Like it's just that's what I was. I could just hand out to people because that's what it takes. That's the hardest part. Because he wasn't the most talented kid. And he just motivated. And just a funny story, he goes, after he was all Big East pitcher of a year. He walked on, too. He walked on. Because he didn't do the tournament ball thing. You got to travel around, pay all this money. He's like, forget that. I actually made a highlight tape for him. And nobody thinks about this, but I sent it to Seton Hall, St. Joe's. Seton Hall came out to see him. They loved him. And then after the day, they didn't give him salary, but he walked out. He didn't walk on. He almost got cut. He was down to the last guy. He was because they had to reverse engineer his throwing arm. He went from 89 to 78. They're telling me, man, I don't know if your guy's gonna make it, but he's rebounding back because he fixed his technique. worked back. He made the team. First game he played versus UNC, had 4 shutout innings. Then he started playing. He was playing as a freshman, and he ended up being the Big East Player of the Year. He didn't even get drafted. He called. There was people scouting him. He called, I think, 20 or 15 scouts. He said, "Thank you for recruiting me. What I need to do to be in the pros." And the last guy goes, he called him right back. He said, "You got his great slider. Guess what? You're in the pros." And that's exactly what happened. And then the guy grinds. That's why he'll make it to the top. I just wish people could see him working out. You know, just guys like that, man. These pro athletes, they just got that inner drive.
It's the same in business. So,
it is, yeah.
You know, the people who just show up, 8 to 4, or 7 to 3:30, and go home at night.
Yeah.
And when come on the weekends, they live in for the weekends.
My hairstyle is when I'm business.
Whatever.
My hairstyle is when I'm out of business. I go by, I get up, she's never there. I come home, she's never there. I'm on Saturday. I'm like, what? How is she? She's not grinding. She's not air. There's nobody coming through. I'm like, something's up. The motivation's not there. The love isn't there. And I'd say I thought she was selling drugs.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
How can you be in business for this long?
We're here on a Sunday. It's Sunday.
Yeah.
We're talking about working out
and I'm like,
business.
Shoot, it's gonna be my favorite restaurant went out of business. There's nobody in there. I'm like, he must be selling drugs. And if lo and behold, they're out of business. You know, because they're not putting the time. You know, some people just don't love it. You gotta love it.
Yep.
I love it. I'm working all the time, but I love it though. I feel like I've never worked a day in my life.
What type of athletes are coming out of Lehigh Valley through you?
Oh, there's some good ones, man. There's some good ones. Golly. I mean, right now I got, Brandon Miller. He's from Wilson. Some of my best kids come from Wilson. This kid is amazing. He's probably my best baseball player ever trained. Just talent-wise. He's actually the top 5 center outfielder in the Northeast. But he is if you take athletes are athletes. Like, that guy is the top point guard, is the top center fielder. He's the top cornerback. He can do all those things. That's what Miller can do. Like, a lot of these kids some of these kids are just baseball players. Some of these kids are just football players. Some of them are just basketball players. This kid is an athlete. He can do it all. He has that mentality. He has like a football mentality. Like, I'm running through you. I'm taking your head off with this baseball. Like, that's how he is. He has that. That's another thing these people don't have. He has killer instinct, and to go with it, he's super explosive, and he works hard. So when you get work ethic and you're talented, and that killer instinct is a recipe disaster. He'll probably make it. He plays at St. John's now, but he's always constantly working. He fixed his swing. He had 8 home runs this summer. Then he went to full scholarship, and now he's one of the top prospects. So Brandon Miller, look out for that name. He's coming out. It's coming out. This kid Shawn Michaels, he's coming from. He drives an hour to see me. He is he's a defensive end and tight end. I took him from a 5'1" to 4'6", 40, but the kid is he's talented, man. He's a beast. He's coming out of here. I can see him going to the pros one day. Kid works hard. Is super talented. Scary that someone 240 run that fast. 4'6". That's like you go to the 100-meter dash around here. He's winning it or taking second, and he's 240. A football player. Never ran a track in his life, but the speed is tremendous. And then I had a good softball play. I had the best softball. Softball is my best sport. Those girls work the hardest. They're my strongest, hardest working girls. But I had a girl. I got a girl from Caddy. Was amazing. She didn't have any grades though. Uh-huh. She couldn't win anywhere. Serena Smith. She won Morning Call Player of the Year. 10 home runs, batted .590, was 600 the whole year. She is. I call her like you're like the female Manny Ramirez. She can hit it high, low and outside, inside, and map. She can hit anywhere. You can get her out. She had like 1 strikeout her whole career. But I wish she had grades because Penn State wanted her and all that stuff. But I got these 2 young kids. They're freaks. They're phenoms. And they like to work too. But remember these names. This is Dylan Simon. He's 14 years old. I took him from a 20-inch vertical to a 40-inch vertical in like a year. And then his 40 went from 5'3" to 4'5", 4'4" in like 8 months.
Wow.
This kid is talented, man. Talented.
What sport? Or
he
sports?
plays football, but I had time, dude. You got to run track.
Yeah.
He's amazing. He can run track right now and do well. But he is. Once he started seeing the results, he's like, now he works out 5 days a week. I've never had a kid do that in freshman year and be motivated to do it. Because a lot of times the boys that don't mature fast, they don't understand. Like my program is complicated, but they don't understand it. They don't understand like the rest time and the reps and steps. But he's now starting to get that early. Like I've never seen someone get that early. So now he's more motivated. And he's gonna be. If I have him all the way through, well, here's what I hate. Once they play football. Once they get to the JVs, they go, nope, you got to train at the school, and they ruin them. I had a lot of kids get ruined, man. I had to go down to 4.40. Went to the school, he ended up running 4.8. That was a D1 kid ruined. I had another kid currently right now. I won't say any names. He was super fast, scored 26 touchdowns. He is still the same speed as he was a freshman because of the high school training. So I'm trying to educate these parents that I don't want this kid ruined. like
yeah.
you have a special kid. Do not let him get ruined. I've seen it before. And then another kid behind him is 13 years old. Like this kid name is Marcus Wembley. I call him the baby Bo Jackson. Like you would see the 30 with Bo Jackson. He's dunking the stick and he's throwing a stone so far. Like that's this kid. Like he's 12 years old. He looks like he's a man child. He's 135 pounds. He runs a 4.7, which is crazy. Like he races my track kids that are in high school, junior. He's tied with them. This kid is he broad jumps 9 feet. I've never seen someone do that at 13, 12 years old. He touches the rim already. The kid is a beast, man. Like so fast. If he just continues on, they say he's gonna be like 6'2", 230.
Wow.
He will be, if he doesn't get ruined, he'll be one of the best kids coming out of this area. He could go anywhere. He could go to the Alabamas. I could see him being that good. I've only seen this happen once or twice. And it wasn't Saquon Barkley, it was Jahan Dotson. I trained from Nazareth. He was that good as a middle schooler. He's at Penn State. Mm-hmm. So I can see how good this kid can be. I told his dad I've never seen someone that's athletic this young. He is a freak. So I just got him a hold. It takes everything has to be perfect. There's a lot of pitfalls. The high school coaches, the training they do, are you getting enough playing time? There's the political things. If everything goes through, this kid could be big time.
Do the coaches and schools do a good enough job at helping them get scholarships? I
think they do a terrible job. That's one thing. That's why when the kids, I have relationships with all those flags in those schools, so I help them. They don't do it terrible. They don't do anything for these kids. The kid Shawn, his mom had to come in my gym and film workout videos and put them on Twitter. That's how he got a scholarship. They don't. I don't know. They don't. A lot of kids. There's some that do, very few, but no one helps these kids get recruited. It's all the parents. It's that. That's something I like to change. I do it myself. Like Shawn. I called 50 schools for Nick Sharga back then. It was like signing day was Wednesday. This Friday before I called 30 schools for this kid Shawn because he didn't want to play down in Georgia. He wanted his scholarship, but his mom can't fly down there all the time.
Yeah.
He wanted to go closer. So I called a bunch of schools for him. The high school coach wasn't doing that. They're not sending out the tape. I'm sending this tape out. So I think that makes it even harder. There's no help. These parents have to learn this recruiting process by themselves and almost do it by themselves. That in all these sports. So I try to step in because I've dealt with it so much. That's the hardest part, man. It's just, are they going to get recruited? Now, I think Easton's coach fired their coach because of that. Because no one could they had all these good teams and no one get recruited. So that kind of was his demise.
Yeah.
But now they're starting to get recruited now. Like the kid from Easton, running back, has got 3 D1 offers. Najee Adams, Bowling Green, I think, in Buffalo. So it's starting to happen. It's starting to change. You got to help these kids out because, I think that helps your program out. There's a school in central Pennsylvania called Southern Columbia, and they're a powerhouse. And just a little tiny little school like Wilson, they got 10 Division I guys. They got 5 guys going to the Big Ten. But now people want to move there now. because they're putting these big time players out. So to build your program. So why wouldn't you want to do that?
Right. And
You
with
start putting
social media right now,
Yeah.
somebody should be just. They should
blowing
have
them
somebody
up.
just for that.
They should.
Yeah.
That you got it. Like, I talked to a track coach named Tony Holler in Chicago. He's like one of the top speed coaches, and he runs his track coach. But track is a boring thing, kind of, because you're at the meet and you're sitting there, and there's all that things going along at one time. But he makes it exciting. But he takes pictures. He said I know it's boring, but I take pictures to make it look like it's the most exciting thing in the world because I want to build my program. And I post the results and I make articles and it makes it exciting. Kids want to now 100 kids. He got to turn them away. And so he makes it exciting. And now kids want to move to his school and work with him because social media has made it better than it really is. And now he speaks across the country because of social media, and it's Twitter and stuff.
Yep.
It's just now he's a worldwide name. He speaks in Ireland. Because of social media. He's just a high school track coach in Illinois.
That's amazing.
Just because of social media, because he knows how to promote it. And he had one good kid, and now he speaks all over the country because of social media. So these people should build their program to build up interest instead of doing old school way, going down the hallway and say, "Here, come."
Yeah.
But if you start putting on athletes and have a social media presence, you're gonna have a program that the kids will be loving. And he makes it fun too. A lot of these programs aren't fun. People don't get. What I did is I made my training fun. Like we work hard, but we got to make it fun. If it's like a military, they're not gonna want to do it. That's the problem. These high school programs, these teams, it's like the military. Like they do too much, and it's not fun. So the kids sometimes there's another pitfall. They might fall out of love with the sport because it's not fun. They're running unnecessarily out. They're throwing too much for baseball players or softball. They're football players are lifting too much, and if you skip one, it's like the world's over. So it's like it's something that might spook people away because it's not fun. I had 3 or 4 football players quit from a football team because they love the game. It's not fun no more. That's because the coaches they make it not fun. The most important thing is make the thing fun. Mm-hmm. that's the key. These kids aren't in the NFL, man. Even there, you gotta make it fun. Like Crazy and the Falcons, they make it competitive and fun. It is a job. You make it like a job. You make it like a job. You're gonna lose interest.
What's your goal? Like, what's the goal? The long-term goal?
Shoot. I like to have a bigger gym, but I like to do like what Tony does. Tony Holler. I like to go around across the country and speak. That's what I'm starting to do, these podcasts. And educate people and just be global. I have a global preference. It's starting to happen, but that's my goal. Like I want people in Utah or something, or Mexico that know me and listen and then be like he's doing the right things and this is how it should be done, and then that's my goal. Like I want to influence the planet, not just the United States or Pennsylvania, the planet. Soccer players in Europe, I want them to go, man, he's doing the right things, Because there's certain issues I want to fix. Because there's a lot of these pitfalls that kids cannot make it to their dreams because of these. They may be like coaches or overbearing parents or the training. They have to be in the right environment. So I want everybody to learn what to do to get to the top and make things fun. That's all you got to do. Cool. Be an influencer.
What's so really my last question is, you wake up, what's the perfect day for you?
Oh man, I get up. If I get up, I know like certain kids are coming in and they're motivated. I'm excited. I'm like I'm speeding down 78, going 90 miles an hour. But yeah, like Westside Barbell is like the greatest gyms in the world. But what Louis does, I try to recreate it. I think everything he does is great. But what he does, he goes to Bob Evans every morning with his lifters, and they talk training, and he plans a workout right there. So there's a workout, and the people aren't at breakfast with him. They don't know what they're doing until they get to the gym. So when I don't go to Bob Evans. I wish I had. I used to go to one down here when they closed down. But I am actually, I'm getting up. I'm thinking about who's coming in, what I have to do with them. I'm like, it's like Tupac and Biggie. They never wrote down any lyrics. They just freestyle. So I'm thinking about what I need to do with them, and that makes my gym unique too. the parents are sitting there watching me, and there's nothing written down. It's in my computer. It actually is written down, but I have a template, and I'm changing everything. So it's almost, I'm doing everything off the top of my head. I can just recall what they need to do next and where they're at in the month. So I'm actually brainstorming in the morning what each kid needs to do, what we did last week, what needs worked on, and it gets me excited. And then you go up there to the gym and it works, and you see it work week after week, and it's like it's a good feeling. But that's my morning. I'm brainstorming like, okay, Craig Reynolds is coming in, NFL player. I got to do this with him. Kaya Slaw, she wants to break her school records in the high jump, long jump, triple jump. I got to do this. I need to do this for her. Like I'm just, Nick Stark. I had to do this with him. So I'm like, my mind is constantly moving. And at night I kind of like review it. Like this work, we need to do the next week. I'm just constantly going. So that's. Now, what I need to do is I need to actually put these on video so I can see it. I think I want to do. What I want to do, I have a reality show in my gym.
Yeah. Because
I think it's the stuff that happens behind the scenes is the funny stuff that happens, and just the actual training. It'd be like a reality show. They actually did that with the guy named Barber's Methods in Michigan, I think. But that's my gym have a reality show
for parents
and parents are upset too.
And kids out here. How do we find you?
You can find me. I'm big on social media. You can go to my Facebook, Byrd Sports Performance. Pretty simple. My Twitter is Byrd Sports SF. My Instagram is Byrd Sports Performance, and my Twitter is Brandon Byrd 01. That every day I'm putting stuff up every time because that's my main revenue avenue of advertising. And I'm starting my podcast soon. I got to figure it out. I just got to load it up. I actually filmed a couple episodes. I've recorded a couple episodes, 4 episodes. So I got to get figured out too. And you can call me 610-297-2431. Email me, text me. I'm that type of guy. I'm high strung. You can call me in the middle of the night if you want to. I'll answer pretty quickly.
It's legit. I mean, I don't like to sit and
Yeah.
watch my kids, but I sat in there once or twice for a couple minutes and left. And
I had a parent. He's from P-Burg, Milkovitz, Grandpop. Yeah, it's like a good drive out there. He said, "Man, what am I gonna do for 2 hours, man? This is boring." Man, he said, "Man, this is entertaining. Watching these kids jump 70 inches. I got girls squat 300 pounds, freshmen running 4.5 dashes, and he's like." It's like the Olympics. It is entertaining. Like that's why I tell people my story is like a TV show. You got to tune in every day.
But it's fun, yeah, man.
It's very fun, man.
I appreciate you coming in.
Oh, I love
definitely.
it.
If you're looking for a trainer for sports and you have some aspirations of college,
I don't know if everybody. I mean, people say they care, but I truly live and die and care for these kids. They are my life, man, and I want to see them get their dreams. I truly care about them. I had a girl break her arm. Running track. I was at the track like that. I was in the top of stands. I was down there like that on the track. Ambulance took her away. I was in the hospital till 3 in the morning. Because I care about I care about these kids. They're like my own kids. So
awesome.
You're not gonna get that anywhere.
Yeah.
So
thank
you for having me, man.
I appreciate it. Definitely. Cool.